Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach. Thank you for being here with me today. I don't take your time lightly. This is Positivity is the Key. Positivity is the key. I am a happiness coach, an assertive and confidence coach, a holistic wellness coach. I am the author of five self development books. My signature book is Take Back Your Pen: How to Rewrite Your Life Story. It talks about taking back control of your life. I authored another book called A Better Me: Embracing Change. My website, where my books can be purchased, is iamjeaniem.com. My, I always say, a better me, a better you. You can contact me at Jeannie at iamjeaniem.com. My books can be purchased there. On my website, I have blogs that I pray will inspire you to be a better you. They have inspired me to be better in my life. And whenever I write something or whenever I talk to people, I am aware that I am also speaking to me. So when I give advice, when I offer comments about anything, I am also aware that it all applies back to me. Again, I thank you for being here with me. Today, um, I pray that what I have to say will inspire someone, will be of help to someone. I know that I am speaking to a whole range of people, entrepreneurs, but even though you may be a business owner, I know that that is not just what you are. There are other aspects to your life. You may be a mother, you may be a father, you are maybe a daughter or a son, an auntie. You have a whole range of roles that you are playing in life. And I know that what I do, and as a happiness coach, I strive to inspire domestic violence survivors to travel a journey from victimhood to godhood. And I know the range of violence, domestic violence, and I know that most of us have been touched by it in some way. I know that most of us are either been in that position of being abused. Some of us have been abusers. We may have come from a home where there was abuse. We may know someone that has been abused or is being abused. So I know that whatever I say is touching someone. And I strive to inspire whoever is being touched by this trauma, whoever is being touched by any kind of trauma in their lives. I want to inspire that person to know that that's not the end. We can look at it as a beginning of a process of growth. I want to talk about out of darkness. Out of darkness. We have all experienced, I believe, periods of darkness in our lives. Some of us may be experienced some dark form of darkness even as we speak. And I know that sometimes when we're in a dark situation, it's really hard to think that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes in that dark period, we may give up. And that's really what I want to emphasize today, because I look at all the chaos around us. I look at the hopelessness that is around us. I see the hopelessness in our children. And that is what pains me, is to see the hopelessness in our children. Sometimes we forget about the children. Sometimes we um, go on in our busy lives and we don't think about the things that we are doing and the things that we are saying, how it's affecting our children. We have a lot of suicide that is happening in our society. And it's suicide in children. And, also because they feel hopeless. They don't see where there is a light at the end of this tunnel. Hope helps to get us through some of the darkest periods in our lives. And if we don't have hope, and if we don't see where there is light after darkness, we can get lost in that darkness. Have you ever been in a place where it was so dark that there was no light coming in at all? There was no, I mean, you could not see your hand in front of your face. It is so dark that you cannot see your way out. If you're in a room and there are no windows, there's no way for light to come in, and you're there, you don't know where the door is, you don't know how you're going to get out. It can cause you to feel a panic. And that's the way it is with things that happen to us in our lives that we don't see a way out of. I've been there. I went through a period in my life where I didn't think that there was a way out. I even contemplated suicide at one time. I thought about taking my own life. Now, this has been years ago, because I am so thankful that I came into the Nation of Islam. And when I came into the Nation of Islam, and went on this course of study that Minister Farrakhan wrote a volume of lessons called Self uh, Development is the Basis for Community Development. And in one of those study guides, it was talking about struggle and coming up out of struggle and how to face our struggles. And I went over that over and over and over again when I was in this period of time in my life and coming up out of the darkness of my life, coming up out of the darkness of alcohol abuse, drug abuse, being physically abused, mentally abused, this life that I had allowed myself to fall into. And I, at one time, did not see how I was going to come up out of it. So when I'm speaking about being in that dark place, believe me, I know. I know. I was there. But I also know that there was that spark of hope in me. Because even when I was contemplating suicide, I realized now looking back that I really did not want to die because I was still looking for ways to come up out of it. And in fact, I tell this story about during this period of time when I was contemplating suicide, I called the suicide helpline because I really, didn't want to die, but I didn't see hope. I didn't have hope. So I was calling, uh, seeking someone to give me a reason to live. And I got this lady on the line, and I was talking to her, and I was telling her all about the things that I was going through, why I was contemplating suicide. And this lady, and I don't know if this was part of her training or what, but she started telling me about her problems. And she started telling me about the things that she was going through. And I'm like, wow. And I thought I had it bad. I was like, wow. And I ended up listening to her and her problems and realizing that I had something that I could say to her that would give her hope. So when I got off that phone call, I was like, okay, really things are not as bad as I thought they were. Look at what she's going through. And that's one thing that I've come to find out in my coaching and listening to other people, that I realize sometimes the things that I think are huge, humongous, that happen in my life, and it's relative. I know it's relative because what may seem big to me may seem small to you. So it's relative. But I look at some of the things that I see that other people are going through or have gone through. And I'm like, wow, they have really, really gone through a period of darkness. And a lot of these people have come up out of that darkness. They've come up and they did not allow that dark period of their lives to define who they are and what they are. And I always say, out of my pain came my purpose. And out of all of our pain, there can be a blessing that comes out of that pain. That's why positivity, I say positivity, because out of our pain, if we face our pain, if we face our struggles, if we look at them and face them, then we can come up out of the darkness. We just have to know that within us there is a God. There is a God. And that God, once we tap into our Godhood and know what we are capable of, and know that God shared himself with us and gave us the strength within to come up out of whatever problems we may have, that's power. We have that power. And I know that sometimes it's difficult to understand just how powerful we are, but we are very, very powerful. And our children are counting on us. Our children at this period of time need us more so than they have ever needed us. During this time of the pandemic, our children are going through uh, having to face uh, isolation, not being able to associate with their friends and interact with their friends the way they were accustomed to. And I was thinking, There are some children that have been born through this pandemic that don't know any other way of life other than living in this pandemic era. And so they don't know uh, the freedoms that may have been at one time and that have been lost. But we can give our children hope. And if they see that hope in us, if they see that we have not given up, if they see that we are in the light, when they see that we have faith, when they see that we're living a life of positivity, when they see that, because our children today, they look at our actions. At one time, parents could say, do as I say, not as I do. And children would accept that. But it's not that way anymore. Children look at our actions and they mimic our actions. So let our actions speak positivity. Let our actions speak hope. Let our actions speak faith, knowing that out of darkness comes beautiful things. Look at us as human beings. We were in darkness in our mother's womb. We were growing in our mother's womb in darkness, in triple darkness. There was no light in there at all. But out of that darkness, a beautiful human being came into the world. You, me, we came into the world out of darkness. Look at the plants, the seeds that are planted in the soil. The best soil is dark soil. It's not sandy, red, brown soil. The best soil is dark. And you plant that seed, and it's in darkness. And over a period of time, that seed is going to burst through the soil, and there's going to be life out of darkness. And a lot of times, really, it doesn't have to be cultivated or watered. God has already set up a system where there's rain and then there's sunshine. There's rain and then there's sunshine. So there's a purpose for all of that. There's a purpose for the darkness. Out of darkness can come some very, very beautiful things. Look at the flowers all around us. Look at the trees. Look at nature. Out of darkness. God created out of darkness. So out of darkness can come beautiful things. Out of darkness has come beautiful things. So no matter what you're going through, no matter how dismal life may seem at this moment, don't lose hope. Don't lose your faith. Continue to know that you're going through a process that is growing you, that is elevating you, that once you come through it and face it, because it's not going to last forever. That's the beautiful thing about life. It's not going to last. It may seem that way, and it may seem like it's been going on forever, but there will come a time when you will come up out of it. And depending on your attitude, depending on how you handled it, that will determine how fast you come up out of it. And it will determine what you learn from it. It will determine how you handle yourself after you have come up out of it. So it's important that we have a positive attitude, even in darkness, even in dismal times. It's important to have an attitude of gratitude. Don't forget the gratitude part. Because even in darkness, even in my darkness, when I was going through the dark period of my life, I look back now and I can see all the things that I had to be thankful for and grateful for that I did not focus on. And if I had focused on those things, it would have been so much easier for me to get through that period of time. But now that I know, that's what I practice. I practice gratitude. When I get up in the morning, I thank God for my life. I thank God for another day. I am so thankful that I have another opportunity to get things right that maybe I didn't get right the day before, but I have another opportunity. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful that you take time out of your schedule. You had a choice. You didn't have to be here with me. You had a choice, but you choose to be here. And I thank you. I thank you that you made that choice. Out of darkness comes beautiful things. Never give up hope. Never give up faith. Look around and see how blessed you are. Count your blessings. Start with the fact that you're alive. And being alive gives you an opportunity to be better. Being alive gives you an opportunity to come up out of darkness. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach. My website is iamjeannie.com. My email is jeannie@iamjeannie.com, jeannieM.com. Can't forget the M. If you forget the M, you won't get me. I am Jeannie M for Muhammad.com. Thank you again for your time. Thank you for taking this moment to listen to what I have to say. And remember, out of darkness comes beautiful things. Stay blessed. And until we meet again, stay safe. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day.